Hi everyone and welcome. I'm really excited about releasing today some information about a new proposal that we have for some changes to our timetable and day structure for next year. I've got Mr. Wright here with me, and today we're going to just talk about the changes that are going to be occurring or that we hope to occur, and we're really looking for some feedback from you about what you think of the new proposal. We're really all about at North getting outstanding achievements for our students, and so that they can leave with very, very good meaningful pathways. We really want to work on getting the best results for our students that we can. We wanted to actually introduce something new that will help lift performance for students for 2021 and beyond. And we want to talk to you today about those changes and what we have proposed for that. So Mr. Wright is going to propose a few questions along the line today for us to consider, and I want you to be thinking very carefully about what does this mean for me? Is this going to be a good idea, and do you think that this is going to have an impact on my results?
So, Ms. Kent, perhaps you could start by just explaining to us, why are we making this change?
We're making this change because we are really invested in making sure that our teachers are really having a good, deep understanding of curriculum and the students that are in front of them. We are actually challenged every day by a wide variety of students being at school at North, not just our school, at all schools, but we want to be able to invest in time to get to know the students more, to get to know the curriculum better, the way we assess, and be able to help students move to get a C, a B or an A, and be able to do that really, really consistently and effectively, so that ultimately students are getting better results.
Well, that sounds like a really good reason to be making a change. Can you explain what the change is going to be?
Okay, so we've looked at our timetable, and we're going to have a change particularly on a Friday and a Tuesday. Are going to have some changes made to them. We are not going to impact on students' curriculum time. We've absolutely invested in making sure that students are getting the same amount of time that they are doing now for their subjects as they did before. But for us to be able to create a little bit of space in the timetable, we want to create space so that teachers can get together regularly from week to week, every week, and actually work together on looking at the curriculum, looking at the students' work, looking at the students themselves, and looking at a holistic view of all of our students each week, and develop better skills and better capability to deliver quality lessons in the classroom. And that just doesn't happen by chance. Our teachers are working full-time through the weeks, and there isn't a lot of time for them to get together as a group, and it's really important to have those collaborative conversations to make the change that we want to make. So what we're going to do is just reduce a little bit of time that we have got spent on our career education, our RAS and our parade times, and have a look at that, offering those on a fortnightly basis instead of a weekly basis. So we're consolidating all the good work that we're doing in those programs, but bringing them into a fortnightly basis, and that just gives us a little bit of extra time that we'll be able to offer each week. You'll hear the term Friday 5. We've been sort of teasing the students with it a little bit along the way. Friday 5 is going to be a time that we finish school early every Friday, and we're going to be finishing at 1:10, and most students will get to go home. Those students that are on track, they've done all their assessment, they've been at school all the time, they've done all their work, and they will go home as long as they are able to be collected from the school. But at 1:10 we will also be having some students that will remain at school. Those ones that maybe can't get home, that's fine. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on. And also students that maybe are not on track to get their Queensland Certificate of Education in grade 11 and 12. And also students that maybe have missed assessment. It'll be an ideal time for them to come and finish assessment. And those students that perhaps have skipped lessons through the week, we will be able to get those students back to catch up on work as well. So Friday 5 is a time when most students will be going home, but some will stay for some extra assistance. But teachers will be able to get together every week to work on the curriculum and the development of good quality pedagogy and assessment for our students.
All right. So it sounds like it's going to affect everyone, all the students and all the staff at our school. You talked about some students remaining at school during that Friday 5 and the teachers being involved in planning. Who's going to be supervising the students during that time?
Yes, so as I said, the teachers will be working together in collaborative sessions, but our teacher aides at school and our support staff will be here and still available to assist students who are remaining at school. So we'll be having some different groups. We will group students together with those that are staying behind because they're missing assessment. They're needing a quiet space to do that. We'll have a room for students that are working on individual study because they are not able to get home, and then another group of students that are perhaps working on catching up on their QCE work. So there'll be teacher aides and support staff available every week to look after the students.
Okay, that sounds great. As a parent, how would I know if my child has to stay behind for Friday 5?
So this change we are investing in. We are actually going to invest in having a teacher aide organising this whole concept each week, and they will be contacting parents by Wednesday. So students and parents by Wednesday of the week will know whether a student needs to stay behind or not. If a parent has chosen though to keep their student at school, and that is fine, we will be getting them to register over the term for a 10-week period to let us know that their student will be here each week, and then we'll review that every term. But there'll be a process and we'll talk to you about that a little bit more. But if you are identified by us to stay behind, you will be notified, and parents and students will be notified by the Wednesday of that week to know that they're staying behind.
Okay, great. So for those students who are leaving or finishing their school day early on that Friday, what can that Friday 5 be used for if they're not staying at school?
So this is actually a really exciting time for students, I think, and an opportunity that we haven't been able to offer before, because we have a lot of students that like to do work experience or work placement that's connected with a certificate that they're doing, or students that have got part-time work. They can all go and start those sorts of things early. We're also looking at offering our instrumental music students, who sometimes have to come out of class for extra lessons, the afternoon for them to be able to do some rehearsals for theirs, which is a great idea as well. And for those students that just are going home, and some families that want to leave early for a weekend, it is actually a bonus that they can start their weekends early. So that, I think there's a lot of wins for a lot of people there, picking the Friday afternoon as the day that we're going to do that.
Okay. If I'm the parent of a child who has to catch the bus home, but they could, for example, go to grandma's house during that time, can they leave and then come back to school to catch the bus?
So if parents work and are not able to collect their student at 1:10, but they have an organised supervision for them, the student will sign out for the lunch break and the Friday 5, and then they would come back, but they would only come back at 3 o'clock when the buses are about to be here, because there will be no supervision for them outside. So we are expecting that parents are providing that supervision for them if they are going to return to catch a bus home.
Ms. Kent, are there any other changes to the timings during the day in the rest of the week?
So look, the timetable for students is going to look fairly similar to the way it has been this year. However, we have made a few changes to some of the times throughout the day, and we're actually going to finish the day at 3 o'clock instead of 3:05, and we're going to also just change a couple of lessons by 5 minutes here or there. You'll have a look when you see the timetable, but it's pretty much looking exactly the same as it has before. But once again, the important part is that we haven't taken any time away from curriculum class time. It's just a little bit of alterations to the starting times and finishing times of lunch breaks and the end of the day. Tuesday morning, though, we are starting 5 minutes early, and that's at 8:45, but the other days are exactly the same as per normal. But when you get to see the timetable, which will be coming home to households today, then you'll be able to have a look and make a little bit of a judgment about the differences between this year's and next year's timetable.
Okay, all right. That explains a bit about that situation with the buses. But the time that we're missing off the end of that Friday, how has that time been found? Does that mean there's less teaching time in the day?
Okay, so that was a very big priority of ours to make sure that there was no loss of teaching time to the normal curriculum classes. So all of our students study 6 lessons or 6 subjects and there is absolutely no change to the amount of time that they're going to have and be taught for those particular subjects. What we are going to do though is, instead of having our full school parade every week and our year parade every week, we're going to have those every second week. So we're catching up on a bit of time there. And the same with our RAS program and our career education program. Instead of having it weekly, it's going to be fortnightly. So we're just able to sort of effectively shave off some time in the week and collect it and place it at Friday, in Friday 5 for our collaboration time for teachers.
All right, that all sounds really interesting, and we've talked quite a bit about it, but if I'm a parent and I have more questions about how it's going to work, where can I get those answers?
So I'd certainly encourage you to send in some questions via the email to the principal, or phone us. That we're happy to have a chat. But we're actually going to run an information session in our hall on Tuesday the 10th of November at 5:30 till 6:30. So we would like you to come along if you do have your questions, so that you're happy and clarifying any of the questions that you might have. Obviously with COVID restrictions at the moment, we're going to have a COVID safe plan in place, and we will just be obviously sitting in social distancing, etc. But we will be certainly welcoming you to come along to an information session on Tuesday next week. So it gives you a little bit of time to have a think about what you have been hearing. The other thing that's happening today is that you're going to receive an email that has a letter, has an information little package, and also the timetable and what it looks like via the email. But students are also going to be collecting a letter and a copy of the timetable to bring home as well. So we're hoping that message will go out. You've got time then to have a look at all that information and then come to the information session, or send us some questions if you are unsure about anything. We are looking forward to 2021 with this new innovative initiative. We're actually really looking forward to having time for teachers to collaborate each week, and time to really get to know the students that we have in front of us and be able to support them in the best possible way that we can. We are going to certainly invite your feedback, and we really are looking forward to this challenge that we have and this new innovation that we're going to produce for North next year. Please take the time to have a read of the information, and I really do welcome your feedback, and we hope that we will see you on the 10th of November for the information session.